Hi there, it's Tom B of Old Tom's Wormery. I'm here at my 2x6 CFT, continuous flow through worm bin, and I wanted to do a big harvest today. I'll show you why, and then we'll do the big harvest. Sorry I don't have the microphone today, so we might get some car noise. Here, let me show you my bin. Alright, there's the 2x6 up on its legs. I'm going to be doing a harvest, so I have a blanket to crawl on. The hope is that I don't have to crawl under the bin at all. And we open it up a bit to show you my worms. The worms are pretty happy. The happiness goes pretty deep. And they're especially happy where the food has been piled, and they're a little less thick where the food is not piled, but not by much. So this is a good, mature, well-working bin. It's also in the middle of the California winter, so I can add food faster than usual. Come summer, I'll have to be careful about overheating. What goes on, though, is I only have this much room left to be adding bedding and food. So I need to get some stuff out the bottom so that this will drop. So this will drop down, and I can keep feeding it. Feed and bedding is what makes the worms fly. If I stop feeding, this goes to mature and the worms thin out. We don't know, do they die out? Do they find a way to crawl away without ever being seen? Or do they just shrink? I know that worms that are underfed shrink. We'll have to see over time. But for now, we're going to make room by doing a harvest. So switching again so I can see the screen. There, this is recording in the front so I can see the screen. And I'm going to put it such that you can see what I'm doing down here. There you go. Oh, I should show you underneath my bin. Underneath the bin, those are the EMT pipes. They go into pockets of the railing. You'll notice that the railing is not drilled through. The pipes are held in the pockets. And this is all the material that's going to get raked down. And you can see, since the last two harvests, it's settled back down onto the pipes. Alright, so now let me set you up. You don't mind hanging out on my concrete driveway, do you? Alrighty. So let me give it a good scrape and we'll see how we do. Here is my 3-time dingpa. And I guess if I spread the blanket out, I should use the blanket just so that I don't get too much California dirt on my pants and don't get too much concrete bruising on my knees. Here we go. So, you'll notice it drops easily, it pulls easily. I am pulling straight across. I'm not pulling down. You don't want to pull down on the pipes. Even if they're nailed to the material, to the railings, if you pull down on the pipes, they will bend and put stress on the railings. So I pull straight across, and by keeping the harvest fresh, often, that keeps this soft. If I let the bin sit for months, this material, which right now is nice and moist and soft, hardens up. It turns into, which is probably best described as cement. There's techniques for softening it. I haven't gotten good at that yet, but I'm getting better. Let's keep harvesting. One of the harvest tricks that I found is first I rake straight upwards between the pipes. I then come back and tilt the ding paw a little sideways, hook it just above one pipe and pull across just on top of the pipe. That way, first by going upwards, I'm getting in between the pipes, and then going across the top of the pipes, I get all the little pillars that stand above the pipe that we're holding the bed up, so it can now all settle as a complete bed to be ready for my next harvest, which at the current speed is going to be next week. I'm flowing out of the screen, but you'll be able to see my arm working. Little bits of plastic come down. That again looks like a piece of tape. I am having some difficulty because of the camera. I'm trying to constantly face the camera. Normally I would switch around and you do my my other arm at this end of the bed. So put up with what looks like clumsy for now. Okay, let's call that good enough on the harvest for now. I will hoe and sweep it out of there. By the looks of it, I've got about 10 gallons. I don't know how I'll be able, maybe in the comments I'll be able to say what the total was when I get into some 5-gallon buckets. But for now, I'm going to pick up the camera. We'll have a look in the top, see if it's dropped yet. Interestingly, by the next day, seeing the drop, it's pretty dramatic. Alrighty, let's switch it around and have a look at the bed from the top. Alright, you'll notice that since it's been open, the worms have all moved from the top to dig down and protect themselves under. We use that when we do the light exclusion method of harvesting worms or compost. It won't be clear to you, but I do see a little bit of settling already. It'll settle more overnight. I'm looking over here. I'm seeing more settling. So I think this is working just fine. It's going to settle. As I look at the bedding, it looks still too much like just bedding and not yet enough like compost. I loaded this bedding in late last week and it still looks like bedding. When it looks to be starting to really compost and turn black and particulate, I will then put another layer on, because as you know, my idea is the bed should look like food and bedding with worms in it. that when it starts to look like compost, it's time to get that buried and keep the CFT moving. So, switching back to Sago. Thanks for enjoying my harvest with me. I love these beds. Go to oldtomswormery.com, have a look, buy one of them. They're a joy. All right, thanks, bye.